Hello everyone, today we are doing our final deck test for set 12. Forgot what set 12 is called for a second. Evanfall Onslaught. I don't know why I forgot the name of the set. We're covering the last deck for this set. I know there's other decks that did get support, like for instance Sol Rhyron, but I mean it's Sol Rhyron. Support unfortunately is not that good, so I don't want to waste your time with that. And also it's just I want to try and move on to like a few set 11 videos before set 11 fully comes out in English, because I want to do some of the newer decks. So let's get finished with this final deck test. This time it is for the cover card of the set, which is Orfist Masques. A lot of people thought Orfist Masques was pretty underwhelming. My team and I, especially Lupe, who's the Orfist player in our team, did not think so. I genuinely think it's one of the better decks in set 12. Because it does effectively the same thing that Regis does, where it gives you 5 attacks with your Shadow Army tokens, but you instead get triple drive instead of having to minus a card from your hand, which is like, I think it's pretty good. A Brant deck with triple drive does give it more chances to see its over trigger, which we all know how broken that over trigger is. So going over the deck, we do play 8 crit, 3 draw, 4 heal, 1 Brant Gate OT, nothing much to say here. We play 1 Regis in the ride deck only. We don't actually play any extras. I have seen lists that do play extras, but to be honest, there's enough cards here like Polar Arxis, Dragon, and Orfist Masques that you can actually just like conserve your orders more and not even worry about have to remove an Orfist every single time, because normally you just save Orfist for when you really need to remove it and get that extra world card. And if we did play more Orfist, that would give us less space to play some of our other optimal attackers or actual like world searchers. Speaking of world searchers, or speaking of worlds first, we go 4 copies of Halloween Moonlit Night, just because it's the one we always want to set to be able to draw a card, draw into our Dragon Tree Wretches, or draw into our Orfist Masques. On top of that, it's the one you always want to play on turn 2, because if you play the Eclipse Moonlight going second, your opponent can easily damage deny you, which you don't want since you want to go off as soon as possible. So this is the one you always want to set. We do play 2 copies of Eclipse Moonlight, because if you play it for free off of something like Polar Arxis Dragon or Orfist Masques, then you get a Shadow Army token for free, which is really good. And then finally, we play 2 copies of Overcoming an Eternity. This is the order that you really want to like try and keep in your order zone, just so that when you call your Shadow Army tokens, they'll get that additional +5. Then we play 2 copies of the Mask of Hydrogrum. I never really use the Mask of Hydrogrum if I have a set order in my hand, since I want to play the set order first. But if you don't have any set orders in your hand, then you can activate the Mask of Hydrogrum and just search for the Orfist Masques. But normally, like in the Gravidia video that I did, you want to try and play this early so you can get this into your hand and get it out of your deck as fast as possible. Then for some of the other attackers, or other rear guards, we do play the Opart. We play as a 4 of, since you want to be able to clear those world cards from your deck as fast as possible so you can get them from the drop zone with Regis. But normally we play it as a 4 of just because it is our version of Nuvoria. That was his name, I forgot about that. Nuvoria from set 6. When he's retired, you just call a Shadow Army token, which can be really good against certain matchups. Polar Arxis is just an insane card. It's just crazy. Soul Blast 1, you can just put a world card that's a different name from drop to order zone. And since you are sending them to drop with Orfist Masques, this is the main way you're going to be getting your orders back. On top of that, what started as like a break even effect, where if it's called over during the battle phase you draw 1, which was to offset Orfist Regis' effect. Now if you call it over with Orfist Masques, not only do you get triple drive, but you also get a +1 off his effect. So Polar Arxis is just an amazing card that I think will stay in Orfist for a long time. And then finally there's the Dragon Tree Wretches, because we want to be able to spread our markers and we want to be able to search out the mask, which then searches out our Orfist Masques. But with that being said, let's get straight into some fight videos with Orfist Masques. Alright, we have our first game here. This has happened like 5 times. This has happened like 5 times where I get into a game and it just immediately closes. Like they just leave, and I'm like, what's the point? Why are you even here? Look, he's back. That's the guy who immediately heads. Alright, we're going first. Normally in this case you want to try and we're gonna put 2 back. Okay, so we found Cyberkite Tool and we found Mask, but unfortunately, ooh, Archite. Unfortunately, we did not find Orfist Masques yet. And that is the main component. We're gonna draw for turn. Pretty nice that it's a Halloween Moonlit. We're gonna discard this because we had the Polar Arctis to ride, and use the effect to search out. Probably just. We're gonna search out this since we already have the Halloween Moonlit in our hand, and we're gonna pass turn. You can discard the Bubble Mine to ride. You can use the effect to immediately grab. We use the effect to draw first. Not always the best strategy since you want to search a card out of your deck and then draw, but he's gonna reveal top 5. He has the new monster, which can call itself when it's discarded. Oh wow, what the fuck? Let's see, you'll mill all of them. Use the effect to put a monster, which is the Bubble Mine, into the order zone. We're gonna no guard that. Checking APG. Stand and draw. We drew into the Orfist Masques, now we have nothing to worry about anymore, thank God. We are going to discard the mask since we are going to search it just this turn anyways. To ride. Then we're going to call, use the effect of Cyberkite Tool to Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 to grab the mask from our deck. Then we are going to create a Dragon Tree marker. We can't do anything with it yet, and the reason why we call it to the back row is so they can't damage deny us. Then we're going to place effect Soul Blast 1 to draw. Use his effect to get 5k. Enter battle, and we're going to swing for 15. No guard. Check Polar Arctis. Checks a draw, which is kind of annoying, but it should be okay. He's going to stand and draw. He's going to ride into the grade 2 and use the effect of her, but also. Well, he can't use the effect of that guy because he doesn't have 2 or more researches. Revealing top 5. He has a Bubble Mine and has a Wavy Loss. It's gonna, yeah, that's what I thought. He's gonna add the Bubble Mine and discard the Wavy Loss. He's going to swing for 10. We're in no guards. We do want the damage. Check a order, and we're going to check the Opart. Stand and draw. We're going to discard the mask. We don't need to search it anymore. To ride and use the effect of Orfist. in order to control Arxis, only put it from drop. Work with different card name from your drop. Okay, so that's fine. We'll actually place the world from our hand with Orfist Dominus, or Orfist Regus, not Orfist Dominus. This is not a card. Now we're going to immediately go into the mask, use the effect to put into soul to ride Orfist Masques. No persona ride though, but that's okay. Now we're gonna, sorry, I was seeing something funny. Now we're gonna call Polar Arxis and use the effect. Soul Blast the Orfist in order to place this order into our order zone. Use the effect of Eclipse Moonlight to create a Shadow Army token. Call it here. Now we're gonna enter battle. We're gonna swing for 10 on the Vanguard with Polar Arxis. I'm gonna guard with the monster. Now we're gonna swing for 30 on the Vanguard. I'm gonna take it. It's no trigger. Then we're gonna swing, use the effect, counterblast 1, sending the Eclipse and the Hollowing to call over these two, calling 2 Shadow Armies, and we do get an extra drive check. Then the effect will activate twice, giving both these +5. So we're going to use the effect of Polar Arxis to draw a card. So 13 triple drive. It's going to guard for 25, making it 2 to pass. Oh, making it 3 to pass. Alright, first check. No trigger. Second check. No trigger. Third check. A heal trigger. We actually do heal. We're going to give power here. And then we're going to heal. Doesn't matter. 25, so he needs a front trigger to guard this, and he needs more than 25k shield. We need 25k shield to guard that. He can check a draw. He's been drawing a lot of cards though, so he's been able to keep up with us. But now it is his turn. We don't have a persona ride for the follow-up turn, but that's okay because we can continue to get triple drive with the setup we have in our hand. The problem is that Archetype can get very big numbers very easily. He's going to discard that monster, and the monster is going to revive itself. Does he have one in the order now? Yes, he does. Oh, he does. Put it into the order zone to give that put it on the bottom of the deck to give that monster 10k. And that monster also gets 5k when it attacks or boosts. It's going to be a pretty big booster. Probably going to play the third order. Yep. To reveal the top 5. Only adding 1 to the hand. But I think he has one of the volcano monster. No, he does not. He's still going to use the skill to retire. He's going to use the effect to rest to put which monster? The Cyclogade. And call the Cyclogade and use its effect to, or use her effect to put Cyclogade back on the bottom to draw a card, or to get 10k. I am so sorry. My commentary is very bad right now. I'm bugging today for some reason. Can call another one of those, but he does not have one in the order zone, so he cannot power it up. He's gonna call Bowl Mine. He does have that in the order zone. Put on the bottom to give it 10k. So Archetype's gonna be pretty big. All these numbers are pretty big. This column is 33. This column plus 18 plus 8 plus 23. This column's 41. And this column's 31. Oh, he's only going to swing for 18, which is very much guardable. Guard that for 23. This one for 31. We're going to, well, after he searches top 7. We're going to call one. Then use Archetype's effect to give it 10k. So now that column's going to be 51 without triggers. That's really big. Now we're just going to no guard it. First check, second check, no triggers. A crit doesn't really matter since the numbers are really big right now. I mean, I guess it does matter for the cyclic aid column. We don't want to take too much damage because Archetype can still get very big numbers. $33. Gonna guard for 38 with a heal trigger. Yeah, it retires itself. You're gonna swing for 51. We're gonna no guard that. It's a heal. We don't heal, unfortunately. Okay, he's gonna pass turn, and it's our turn. We'll draw. No persona, but that's okay. We are going to using effect, Soul Blast 1 to draw a card, which we drew into our persona right for next turn. Then we are going to call Polar Arxis and use effect, Soul Blast 1 in order to place Halloween or an Eclipse Moonlight's effect. We'll call the Shadow Army here. Then we will actually use Orfist Masques effect to remove the original Orfist to get this from our drop. Use the effect to draw another card, which is Opart. It's very nice. We could actually use Opart's effect to mill another world from drop, but we don't really have to. But if we send 2, no, we don't have to right now. It's fine. We're going to here. So sorry guys, let me stop this real quick. There we go. I just turned off Discord. Then I was probably getting kind of annoying. Alright, now we're gonna enter battle. We're gonna swing for both these columns are gonna be 30. So we're gonna swing for 30. We're gonna take it. It is no trigger. We're gonna swing with this column for 30. We're gonna guard and intercept using the Cyclic Aid, which gets plus 5k shield. We're gonna swing with Orfist and use the effect of Orfist Masques. Counterblast 1, sending 2. Using this effect to draw a card. And replacing this with 2 Shadow Armies, which are gonna get 5k each from that effect. So this is triple drive. We could have sent 3, but wouldn't have really made sense. One of them's already, they're both going to be lethal either way. Then we're going to triple drive, first check, no trigger, second check, no trigger, third check is a draw. We're going to power to this guy and we're going to draw a card. Swing for 25 on his Vanguard. And that's GG's, bro. So we have a ton of cards in our hand. We didn't hit Persona, so we didn't get to show you the full power. However, we will play one more game after this. We're going to draw our 5. Drew into the Mass. This isn't a very good hand, though. I actually will put 3 back. Unfortunately, there still is no Orfist Masques. That's the main thing you gotta mull for, but at the same time, you need to mulligan for like your world, and you want to keep the mask, just so if you draw the Orfist Masque, you like can still have the pieces. Tails, alright. Looks like he is going first. Oh, he's playing the new Alden. I was going to do a deck test of this after our set 11 ones when set 13 is about to come out. And I'm sorry for this. I don't know why that's there, but he's going to discard the Spiral Cutie Angel, which will use its effect, put itself on the bottom to draw an additional card. Now it's our turn. We're going to draw for turn. Unfortunately, not a very good draw. We're going to discard the O part, actually. To ride, use the effect of Rutus first, so we can thin the world out of our deck, which will be the the Hollow Moonlit Night. And use the effect of our starter to draw a card, which is a crit, not great. We will swing for 8 on his Tranquilia. Guard. We're going to drive check into one of our other worlds. Still no Orfist Masques, which is very unfortunate. He's going to use the effect of Tranquilia to reveal 3 different grades from his hand. Interesting choice to put the Default in his deck. Checking top 5 for a grade 1 or less. If he doesn't want to call one, then he can call the Tranquilia. Okay, so he called the Phaeton. I was going to say, if he... Ooh, he's going to go for Rush. Not a very optimal rush though. If I was him, I probably would have just put our 8K down there. Oh, okay, he's moving it. Because if I get a defensive, then all of his attacks are shut off. But he is playing fronts. He did show it to me. So we'll no guard this, just because we want to have damage. I'm gonna drive check the Alden. We're gonna damage check the Opart. Another Opart. We are going to guard that though. Cyberkite Soul. Okay. Discard to ride. We're going to call Cyberkite Soul. Use the effect. Counterblast 1. Soul Blast 1. Create a Dragon Tree marker. And search our deck for our second copy of the mask, just so we can thin the deck a little more. And then we're going to activate the order, use the effect Soul Blast 1 to draw, and give the effect +5. Because I don't want Alden to get the... Since we took 2 damage, we can actually move the Cyberkite Soul up, and I don't want to give Alden damage so he can draw his cards. So we're going to swing for 15 on the Phaeton, and drive check into a heal, which is very nice. We're going to heal the Opart, and we're going to swing into his other rear guard using Cyberkite Soul. He can still get the multi-attacks, and that's a Soul Blast. However, he won't get as many pluses. Since we are behind on Orfist Masques, we don't want to give him any extra advantage. And the next turn, I think I just want to use Orfist to put the Hollow Wing in there. Front to ride Alden. Use the effect of his Sodios. Revealing 3 to look at top 5 and call 1. Probably gonna call something like Drilling Angel. If he even plays Drilling Angel. Wonder what normal orders he plays, because TFL only activates if you call a normal order. Or if you activate a normal order. Like I said, I'm bugging today, guys. I'm so sorry. I call the feed on. Gonna move the feed on back. Oh wow. Good thing for us though is that TFL actually doesn't get its plus 10k because I had to be on grade 3 or greater. You can call the Alden. He's probably just gonna bounce in and call 2 more cards from his hand. He's gonna probably swing with the Alden first, which we can just intercept. Use the effect to Soul Blast to bounce the Alden to call something else. He's gonna call the Ermac. That's all he's going to call. So he's going to swing. We're going to guard this for 2 to pass. I know he plays fronts, but it's like we made the right choice. Ooh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about playing Fionn Nuala in that deck. That's a very interesting choice. We're going to guard with 25, and he's going to swing at us with 25, which we will take, which is a crit. Stand and draw. Drew into another Cyber Kite tool, which is not great. And actually, I will discard one of the masks to ride. We're going to use the... Oh, whoops. I accidentally opened the browser real quick. We're going to use the effect to play this for free, then draw a card. Still haven't found it yet. We're going to activate the mask, checking top 5, and we did find it, thank God. We can actually play the game now. I was getting real nervous there for a second. And now we will call the Polar Arxis, use the effect to Soul Blast to play the Overcoming an Eternity for free. And we're going to activate the mask to ride, then Persona Ride. So we have to draw and put this into the soul. We will actually... Do we want to go for the 5 attacks? We can just go for like 4 attacks and then do triple drive shenanigans. We don't have any extra worlds in the drop though, I don't think. So we can't use Orfist Masques. Yeah, I think we'll just go play a little slow. Gonna swing for 25 on Alden, which he's definitely going to take. Yep. We're gonna swing, use the effect, counterblast 1, sending both of the hollowings to drop, and use his effect, and he's called over to draw, and then to call 2 Shadow Armies. They'll get plus 10 to the persona, he'll get plus 5 because of the marker, and then due to that effect, they'll both get plus 5. This has triple drive as well. Probably just gonna no guard. Yep. Let's hope we get the over. Crit. We will give plus 10 here, and we'll advance. A draw. We will give power here and draw, and no trigger. One of them is the crit, like the sleepover one, which is interesting. We're going to swing for 40. If he has a front, then he can guard this. He does not. And we're going to swing for 45. Alright, and he perfect guards it. Alright, now it's his turn. And good news for us, we actually did keep him. We did keep him, or keep ourselves actually, at 1 face-up damage so that he can't damage deny us. Because we do not play Bubble Mine in this list, but to be honest, you don't really need to as long as you're just playing a little bit more conservative. He'll use Alden's effect to counterblast 1, soul blast 1 to call any card from his hand as long as it's grade 3 or lower, and then draw 2 cards. You call the Fion Nuala. We're just going to swing with the Ermac and then use Alden's effect to call the Ermac so he gets plus 15. If he wants to conserve the cards in his hand. He's going to call Sages. I might just move Ermac. Because, like, if you... Sages is a good choice. Because if you call Sages and attack with him, you can use his effect first to look at the top card. And then if you bounce him back to your hand and call him off Alden, then you can actually use that effect again since it's refreshing the skill. Ooh, I actually kind of like that idea. I'm down for that. That sounds cool. So we're going to swing with the Sages first, just so we can actually do the effect and look at the top card. I'm going to put into the soul. Now, what did he put into the soul? Which is a Spiral Cutie Angel. We're going to guard this, because I know it's only going to get more dangerous as the turn goes on. I'm going to swing with Alden for 31, and use the effect. Soul Blast 1, bounce the Sages, and then call the Sages so it refreshes him. We're going to PG, discarding the Overcoming. Check a crit. Giving all effects to Sages. Or no, giving crit for her. Very bad. The over trigger was pulled. Now you can probably add a PG back to his hand. It's gonna add the 2 crit there. Now the good news is that it only has 3 crit. Meaning that we can take that as long as we just guard Sages. But the problem is that he's probably going to swing with her first. And if he swings with her first, then there's a chance we get defensives. If we get defensives on any of these, Sages will be unguardable. Yeah, doing exactly what I thought he would do and swing with the Teofault. First, second is a draw. Kind of unfortunate. Okay, good. As long as we check 2, I think we'll be fine, and one of them is a heal. So we can just heal out of this. Sages will get a lot of power, and he will be able to look at the top card of the deck. So there's a chance he sees like a defensive draw or defensive heal or something. But I don't think he plays draws. So he's going to get 33, putting him at 76, which is a lot. And I don't preferably want to go to... I don't really want to go to 5, but yeah, soul charge of PG, but I guess it wasn't going to damage it anyways. 76, so if we're gonna have to waste a lot of cards, like 4 cards from our hand, so I'll just take it, and it is a PG. So yeah, wow, that just immediately brought him back. But I think we can still close out the game. We're gonna Persona Ride, drawing a card. And we have a ton of resources that we can just like go ham on. We're going to move these back, or move this call. Opart skill, we're going to counterblast 1. Search our deck for a world. Send it to drop, which we're going to send the last world from our deck. Now we're going to counterblast 1, put this into the order zone, use the effect to create a shadow army that we're going to put behind and use the effect of overcoming to give it plus 5k. Probably should have done the Orfist play first, but it's fine. We're going to call, use Cyber Kaitsul, counterblast 1, Soul Blast the Ragus. We won't be able to search the masks since they're all out, but we will be able to use the skill to get a Dragon Tree marker, power up our board a little more. Then we're going to use Orfist's effect to remove the OG, to call out, or to get ourselves. We can do something really cheap. No, we can't, because we won't get the triple drive. So unfortunately, we need to be able to do the Hollowing Moonlit and use the effect to draw a card. We could extend even more here by like putting it on a booster or something so that you really can't guard any of these. Which I think if we're living dangerously, which we are, we're going to call over, use the effect, counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, create a Dragon Tree marker, putting it on our rear guard and shuffling the deck. Alright. This is basically final turn. We're going to swing for 40 on the Vanguard with Cyber Kaitsul. He's going to guard, and we'll guard with two 15Ks. Then we're going to swing for 43 on the Vanguard. The intercept, yep. Swing, use the effect, counterblast 1, sending these two, and sending these to drop, and use the effect of Opart to call 3 Shadow Army tokens. They'll get 5k from the Dragon Tree marker, and that effect activates 3 times to give them all 5k. No guard, and we do have triple drive. First check is a heal trigger, can get power here, and then we will heal, doesn't matter what we heal. So that, second check, and third check, it's only 1 damage. And then we're going to swing for 45, and the other is 60. Gonna guard, perfect guard, to be precise. And swing for, well, that's a good game. That is a good game, sir. Yeah, so that was basically our Orfist Masques deck test. Sorry this took a while to do. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think about Orfist Masques, and let me know what kind of deck tests you want to see from us in the future, and what kind of content ideas you have. But thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.